Hey folks, so I am on the road right now, about to pass a truck. I just wanted to give my 2 cents about the rash of suicides that's been happening lately. It makes me sad that these kids feel that that's the only way out, that that's the only way they have to escape the negative feelings. But what pisses me off even more, what pisses me off rather than makes me sad, is that there are people out there who would push these kids to do this, who would make such a negative and hostile environment as to make these kids think that the only way out is the permanent solution. I mean, everybody gets bullied a little bit in high school. But is it really coming to this, that kids are getting bullied to the point where they feel like they have no other option, no other place to turn? That's messed up. Another point I wanted to make was, after seeing Death Fox's video of a love letter to gay youth, to gay people, anybody who's coming out, well, it made me think about something Born Without Religion said, is that she chose to be gay. Which I think that that's an awesome idea. The idea that, yeah, you know what, you weren't born this way, you chose to be gay. And it might be a harder path, but the way that she said it, actually I will link the video, because she can speak for herself. It's an interesting concept, the idea of trying to take out the poor me type culture, or trying to get rid of the poor me, such a bad thing happened to me. I guess I can't say that I chose to be gay, but I can tell you this: I was born queer, but I chose to be super. I chose not to hide my feelings. I chose not to hide who I was. I chose to live openly. I chose to live without lying. I chose to take the harder path, live as I am, be the person I am on the inside, and not just wear a mask, not just lock myself into some kind of a box that I think society would be more accepting of. I chose the harder path, to be open, to not lie, to be who I am, and to help others who are struggling with it, who face negativity. I chose to take that step, to be a representation, so that maybe somebody else will not have as hard of a time. I chose to stand up and represent, so that the next person that comes along might not have to have such a scary time, such a hard time. I chose to represent, to stand up, to be a super queer, so that maybe the next person that comes along doesn't have to fight the hard battles I did. So that maybe the next person that comes along will not get bullied to the point where they feel like they have to commit suicide. So that the next person comes along might not have to worry about this. You know, I dream that 10, possibly 20 years down the line, a kid will be born, and they will not have to worry about hearing that they are dirty, disgusting, just because of how they're born, just because of who they are on the inside, because they want to have a long-term, committed, loving relationship with another adult, that they want to explore different religions and not just be locked into one. I dream that that kid will fully be treated as an equal, be given an equal chance and equal opportunity. And no, I do not mean to sound like Dr. Martin Luther King. But I mean, just the thought of that one day, hopefully people will be able to be born and not have to worry about being persecuted because they're queer. Because they're a boy who happens to like other boys, or a girl that happens to like other girls. Or persecuted just because what's in their mind might not really match what's in their shorts. Or the idea that parents would one day be open to raising a kid gender neutral until they start to display their gender. Or be open to it if their kid happens to be transgendered. I mean, we have come so far as a culture in the last 100 years, in the last 30 years, in the last 20 years. I talked to some of my older coworkers, and they couldn't imagine that we could be this close to having marriage rights. Which, you know, it's not too much further. And I think Generation Y and the generation after us will have even fewer things to worry about when it comes to, we'll have even less pressure to raise their kid in an environment like we grew up in. I just see things that are getting better, but I also see that we have a long way to go. So I am going to end this My 2 Cents video. I hope y'all are having a good day, and you know, if there's anybody out there who's questioning, if there's anybody out there who's standing on that ledge where you think that the next step, if you take one step forward, you're gone. There's a lot of people here on YouTube that will listen, myself included, okay? Talk to somebody. Contact them. Because you know there are other ways to get through this. Suicide, while I think everybody should have the right to, is not the only option. A lot of people out here know exactly what you're going through, have had the same feelings, have felt the same pain, and who can understand. Peace out, YouTubes.